I welcome you here. Thanks for coming by. I think you got a couple things going on right now, so I'm glad you made the time to stop with us. But the first question I guess I want to ask you is, every leader, from a small business person like myself to a governor, city leader, any department manager, store, whatever it is, every leader of every kind in the last year has taken a gut punch from COVID. And to me, I love to study leadership, and I love to study people and learn every single thing I can from them. And to me, it's been like a real world MBA. How can I watch what every single person is doing and learn from them? So to me, I guess I'd ask you, what are the lessons that you've learned through this period of time that none of us had a playbook for?
Yeah. Well, it's good to be back. Don't want to leave. I feel like being part of the great news here is nourishing in and of itself. And especially during a time like this. And I know this will pass ultimately, and we're all going to get through this, and we're making progress every day. That's not just the eternal optimist in me. I just see signs along the way that give me comfort, and that's including all of the gut punches that we've taken and the heartache and the loss. But it's also pretty inspiring to live during a time like this in a state like Indiana. I'm a little biased, but where it's really in our DNA, who we are, to not just promote Hoosier hospitality, but to actually live it and help and love thy neighbor. And so there's good news all around us. We need to, I always say we have a great story to tell, and we need to tell it. And what I'm reminded of during all this, and what I'm really thankful for, is just having a great team and having that team assembled before something like COVID-19 washed upon our shores. We always had challenges, and we always were out trying to do big things. You mentioned one with the Westlake Corridor expansion. But COVID-19 kind of came out of left field, and people, we didn't have much time before we saw it really start taking off in Indiana and America and other places around the world. So I think, don't wait to assemble a dream team after the fact.
Until you need a dream team.
Exactly.
You need a dream team right now.
That's exactly right.
All the time.
And we're each feeding off of each other's strengths. And there's some common denominators with every single person. And I think, when we first started putting together the administration, I kind of jokingly said, well, there's really just 3 boxes that we need to check. Folks need to be honest.
Yeah.
They need to be humble, and they need to be hungry. And
you actually touched on those the last time we spoke.
And I meant it, right? And it, boy, does that turn out to be true, and what was really needed, because these are all folks who are experts in their fields and their areas of the backgrounds, and but then when they started to see each other, that also was infectious in a good way. They all wanted to be part of something special, of people who had the head and the heart for this type of service. And so if anything,
then they buy into that team. They're not just buying into you.
Chemistry.
They're buying into every single one of those other people. Like, I like him because he likes that guy, and that guy likes this guy, and this guy likes, and they want to help those other people be successful
every day. I've often kind of described going through this past year, 8+ months, as Hoosiers have got to see not just the governor, but they've gone to Oz, they've looked behind the curtain, and they've seen that Chris or Eric or Chris Box, Dr. Box, or Fred Payne at DWD, we're Hoosiers. We all come, born and raised in Claremont, Indiana, and it's not some wizard back there that's,
real people.
They're just real people with real experience and real life, world experience, and all came together, all remaining very calm during it all, and just getting it done day after day after day, always trying to take, again, it's not rhetorical, always trying to take what we do to the next level.
When I'm watching you and Dr. Box and the other people on those live streams that you're doing a zillion times, you're basically just saying, I'm going to give you the information. I'm going to give you the facts. I'm
Yeah.
going to communicate this all to you.
Yep.
And the next expert. And
That's right.
it's not, it really is a combined effort.
Yeah, it's a team, and it's we're calm because we're very comfortable sharing, being very transparent about what we know. We're not trying to hold anything back. We trust people. And by the way, we rely on people to make good decisions. They can't necessarily make them if they don't have the access to the same information that we do, that we're charged to share. And so, yes, we're going to share the good news. And again, by the way, there's so many examples of people who step forward sharing those. I get calls all the time that say, hey, can you connect me with so-and-so that you talked about at 2:30?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden in Petersburg, Indiana, they're doing something that happened in Valparaiso, or vice versa.
Yep.
It's pretty cool to be part of something that special and big.
Well, and to understand the importance of emphasizing that it doesn't minimize the challenges that anybody is going through whatsoever, but it does give you an opportunity to maybe have those challenges not overwhelm you.
Yeah, and we all need hope, and I want to convert that hope to opportunity. And no matter what the challenge is, before we get there, folks to understand that there are people available who want to help you.